Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me. This is MC Scott coming live at you from Northampton, UK, England. Hey! And I'm just wondering, you see, I've just gone live and the lighting, I'm not sure you can see my face that clearly. Let's see if I can, let's see. Oh, that's actually better without so much light blaring at me, I think, isn't it? Let's just keep it like that, I think. And hopefully you can hear me as well, okay, because the TV's on in the background for Crystal. She's enjoying the television. And here we are. So let's get into local in Northampton. That's what this is all about. And I'm going to be going through nextdoor.co.uk's feed to see what's been going on. Well, I've made notes of what's been going on actually over the last 6 days. Got some things to point out for you. So without further ado, let's have a look. So going through our nextdoor.co.uk stream, we have, let's start off with the Northamptonshire Fire Brigade because they're looking for whole-time firefighters. That's a new word for me, whole-time. You see, I know part-time and I know full-time. Never heard the expression whole-time before, but I wonder, it's probably quite flexible nowadays, maybe. I don't know. But what a wonderful thing. If you're keen to get into the Fire Brigade, because they did their show, didn't they? They did their sort of open day recently. And if you went along to that, maybe you're a parent and you took your children along to the day and thought, you know what, I fancy a change of career. I want to be a fireman or woman. Yeah. Well, you can actually book yourself in for a live Q&A session, and they'll talk all about this sort of thing and all the ins and outs of it. There's 2 occasions coming up. One was today. That would have been and gone, but there's one on the 7th and one on the 9th of October. And if you want to book, there's to express your interest in that, there's an address, https://. So if I do, there's another, I'm going to be reading out another address for the Northamptonshire Fire and Rescue later on. And that starts the same, of course, https://. And then Orlo, orlo.uk/BUKIK. Now, the second K is written in a capital letter. However, I'm quite certain that these sort of links, I don't think they worry about capitals or lower cases, but, needless to say, the second of those 2 Ks is a capital. You can check that out. If that appeals to you, you can go on to Nextdoor and have a look. You'll find Northamptonshire Fire and Rescue. They appear quite regularly, and yeah, what a worthy career choice that would be. The tip. Oh, now, have you read in the Chronicle Echo at all about the tip? Our tip's going to be requiring a booking before you can turn up and tip your rubbish. That's caused a bit of ruckus, isn't it? The idea that you have to book now to go to the tip. But there are people that will go to the tip for you. Like, for example, Spires Robert, Kings Heath. Happy Rubbish Removals. Licensed and trusted. Single items to a full clearance. You can pay him by cash or bank transfer. And all you have to do is message him and he'll provide you with a quote. So there we are. That's handy to have. Wash Wagon. Now, this is Josiah Mensah of Kingsley Park. He'll come to your work. He'll come to your home. And if you've seen him on Nextdoor, he will show an example of a car he details, which is a rather nice motor in the example I saw. Nice motor, but you can see he did a cracking job of detailing that car. But I like the idea. He'll even come to your work and do it there inside and out, So you can go to work with a scruffy car and come home in a nice looking car. Now, I've written, what have we got? I wrote all these notes down. I thought, I wonder how long that'll take. Because last time I went from a pad, it didn't take that long at all. And when I used the screen and went through, I went over my limit, which is an hour. I like the idea of broadcasting for an hour, and then maybe, hopefully, people might watch it. Because, if you say that program's an hour, you might think, I can't watch it. An hour and a half, you think, no, I'm not sure I'll take the time out of my day to watch that. So I try and keep things to an hour if I can. That's my little. But any of you who've seen my rule book will know it's quite comprehensive. But there's all, there are no rules out there. There are no rules, really. There are no rules. The wash wagon. That's a cool name, isn't it? The wash wagon. Let's flip over the page. K&C improvements. Bathrooms, kitchens, tiling, flooring, wood or carpets, rubbish removal, courier work, and odd jobs. So if you're in need of any of that, there's someone to ring. He's put his phone number in, and I thought to myself, should I read phone numbers out on YouTube? I wasn't sure. So for the moment, if you like any of these things I'm going to mention, it's worth having a look at nextdoor.co.uk and checking them out. Next up, have a guess what month this is. It's the 2nd of October. Next month is November. This month we've got Stoptober, and next month we've got November for moustaches. Stoptober, if you are a smoker, terrible habit. Terrible. If you smoke nicotine, that's naughty. Try and there's ways of switching to. You can switch to other less naughty habits like vaping and you know what appeals to me, and these are really good. If you want to stop smoking for October, maybe you haven't started yet, and this is the first you've heard of Stoptober. Now's a good time to start them. And heated tobacco sticks are a rather new thing that I didn't know about until I saw them on YouTube. I think they're great. I really love them. They're proper little tobacco sticks. You put them in a heated device. I like Plume, and because they were the best value. But I tried another device that was more expensive and it isn't as good. I thought, shall I send it back? And I thought, no, because it's like a spare. You see, the local co-op don't stock Plume. My local co-op doesn't as yet stock these Plume heated sticks, but they do sell these heater sticks. They're pretty commonplace. So I thought, okay, I'll keep it and have it as a backup, if you like. So, say for example, I'm unable to get hold of a packet of Plumes, I can I know I'll be able to get a heater stick up the road, and Bob's your uncle. Nice idea, though. Giving up. Now, they reckon if you manage the whole of October, you're very likely, 5 times more likely to give up for good. Just think of all the money you'll save if you give up smoking, ladies and gentlemen. That'd be absolutely marvellous. Loads of money saved. And vaping is far cheaper than smoking. And these are too. 20 of these is £5. And how much is the packet of fags now? Well over a tenner. I'm sure it's well over a tenner, isn't it? Packet of fags. Pretty sure it is. I mean, that's outrageous, isn't it? So give that a try. But if you can just give up without vaping at all, I mean, that'll be absolutely perfect. If you can do that and you last a month, then you're 5 times more likely to give up for good. And if you succeed in that, well, your health is going to get better. Your whole life will get better. So Stoptober. If you are a smoker, why not give it a try? Why not give it a try? And then it'll be November, and that'll be Movember for growing a moustache. So I wonder, should I curl out my moustache for Movember? Maybe. Right, I'm a bit unshaved today, a bit unkept, and I haven't done my eye makeup either because last time I did, I thought to myself, the very last time I did, I thought, I'm not sure if I'm really applying it. Anyway, trial and error. I'll keep practicing. I'll make an effort. Next time I appear online, I will have my eyes done again, and maybe you can leave a remark and see in the comments and say, oh, hold on, you need to improve on that. You need to get your eyes in gear. What have we got next? So we did the wash wagon, which I like that name. K&C improvements. Stoptober. Oh yeah. talk handwriting because I've been 51 years as a left-handed person, and at the age of um, 51, I turned left-handed. So I've gone from years of being a lefty to right-handed. Now I'm right-handed. You see, and sometimes I think to myself, I'm writing, and I think this is a struggle, and it reminds me of being back at school. You know, have you thought back at school and thought about writing the date at the top of the page? The title of the lesson. And some days you think, oh, my handwriting's not as good today. What's going on with my handwriting today? Still happen. I'm learning to write again with my right hand, and I get that now. And I think, because with my left hand, it doesn't matter what situation I'm in. I can pick up a pen with my left hand, and it doesn't matter if I'm at a funny angle. It doesn't matter. You do it. But with my right hand, I can't necessarily pick up a pen immediately and write absolutely fluently first off. Not quite there yet, but it's all practice makes perfect. And I noticed that today because I was using one of these pens. I do love my station. Oh, there's the camera here. One of these pens, and which I enjoy, which I'm supposed to be using for taking notes for this show when I do, in my bright yellow notepad that I've assigned to writing notes for this show on when I do news from Nextdoor. And the idea is I can use multicolours. Well, I didn't, because fiddling around with the buttons can be, I thought, and I haven't decided what colours to use either for headings and so on. And so until I decide that, I was writing all in black. And I thought, I don't want to write all in black and run out the black only. So I changed to my Parker pen, which is black, because I prefer black ink over blue, personally. And that pen was slightly easier to write with. But yeah, I get good and bad handwriting days. I do. And also my handwriting, you see, my handwriting now is different to what it was in the sense that I've got a new handwriting style. My handwriting is different to what it was. It's consistent in that I know it's my writing, but it is different to what my left-handed writing was. Some people can write with both hands at once, can't they? These really clever ambidextrous people that write with both hands at the same time and write the same thing, and their handwriting is the same with both hands. Don't know if I'll ever be like that. But anyway, I made a note about that because while I was writing, I was thinking I'm having a bad writing day. But practice makes perfect. And now I'm looking at it now, actually, it's not that bad, considering. I mean, it felt a bit odd writing, but looking at it, it's okay. But you've got to persevere with these things. And you see, when you do something like changing your hand from left to right-handed, it is easy to give up and think, you know what? Like, for example, let's think, cutting something in the kitchen. You think, right, I'm going to cut this right-handed. I've got to improve at it. I'm a chef. I've been cutting with my left hand all my life, and now and you think, hold on, buttering toast is a better example. You think, I want to butter this toast, but I'm in a bit of a rush. And this is going back because now I'm pretty au fait at buttering toast now with my right hand. I reckon I'm as good as with my left hand now. But there's a point where you think, hold on, it's taking a bit longer. This if I just use my left hand, it'll be done. The toast will be done now. It'll be buttered. But no, it's at times like that you've got to carry on. Keep carrying on, and it does become second nature. And my toast buttering now is something to behold with my right hand, honestly. You watch me butter with my right hand, you'll be thinking, that man's been buttering with his right hand all his life. But no, I haven't been buttering with my right hand all my life. No. And also, when you hold your toast, because I don't butter, here's the thing. And I've buttered bread almost for a living. When I was helping out at a hospital I worked at serving food, and we helped the chefs at in the main kitchen there at St Andrews, that was. And every day you'd help out the chefs for a couple of hours, prepare for their dinner shift. So you do, and some days you'll be buttering, Sandwiches. And I'd butter my sandwiches with holding my bread up in the air like this and butter like this. Oh, see, I'm doing that right-handed, left-handed, butter like this. So you're holding your bread, and because obviously was proper left-handed, I'm quite expert at fiddling around with the bread with my right hand while it's in the air, so I can flip the bread, and it looks quite fancy. And then butter looks quite cool. And there are little things, please little minds, eh? That's what they say, isn't it? Where are we? Matthew Earl. Oh, now I read a short story from this chap, Matthew Earl. I think he's going to be famous, this chap, a famous author from Northampton, another famous author from Northampton, because we already have one. Anyone may know of or read Alan Moore. He's a very top author, obviously, brilliant books. Jerusalem is his latest read, although he has got a book, a magic book out too, which is in the form of like a manual, like an old-fashioned cartoon manual in the form of that. But anyway, this chap Matthew Earl, who hails from Thorpelands, sent me a story called Redemption, a short story called Redemption. Oh, ever so good, ever so good. And if you want to have a read of that, he will send you a copy for you to have a read. Just message him and he will send you a copy of it to read. I really enjoyed it. And I know he's written quite a lot of short stories. He's into poetry as well. He's going to be famous, that man. Yeah. So if you fancy, it didn't take long for me to read, but I tell you what, it's captivating, really good. Message him, ask him to send you a copy, and you're in for a treat. I promise you. Now, well, gardening. We get a lot of gardening adverts in Nextdoor. I haven't mentioned Mick's gardening yet. Mick is from Eastfields. He offers hedge trimming and gardening. So these people, you can find them on Nextdoor. Message them if you wish. Joel Norris of Phippsville of Abington. Now it's that time of the year, isn't it? Firewood. And nowadays you can pretty much get anything delivered, can't you? Including firewood now. This gentleman will deliver you. He's apparently very busy, which is fantastic. Good for him. I like local businesses. That's what we want, local businesses to thrive in Northampton. And little things like this. Consider rather than going to one of these famous massive retailers to get your wood, consider having a local person drop your wood by. Have a bit of a chinwag at the door, And it is that time of year, isn't it, where people are going to be lighting their fires soon. The weather is turning, definitely. I heard it the other night. When you can hear, can't you? When everything's quiet and you can sort of tell from the sound of the air out, so you think it's cold. The cool is coming in, isn't it? I've been hearing that, and the nights are drawing in too, aren't they? How nice to be sitting by a fire, eh? Wouldn't that be lovely? Oh, I love sitting by open fires. My gran and grandfather used to have an open fire, and granddad would get up every morning, and sort of every morning he'd get up. Well, because that controlled water and everything. So winter, summer, he'd have the fire going. To fantastic. Get up early, cook himself a breakfast every morning for himself. My grandmother wouldn't have a cooked breakfast like he did every morning, but he would get up, do himself a cooked breakfast every morning, and do his fire. Fantastic. Fantastic. So yeah, if you have got an open fire or one of these modern fashionable wood burning heater devices thingamajiggies, Abington Firewood. Contact Joel. He'll come and deliver them. I'm sure he offers reasonable prices. I bet he does. How would he compete if he didn't offer the reasonable prices? So why not? Give him a ring. Get involved in supporting local business. Nowadays, everything and anything can be delivered. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I owing to various ailments, I'm spend a lot of time at home, and yeah, deliveries fantastic. Now, who have we got here? Sammy Kent of Kingsley Park. Yes, folk feeding other people's cats and sort of nicking them. Yeah, naughty people. There are people doing that, and this is Kingsley Park. So cats have been getting enticed by people feeding them and then nicking them. Terrible. Yeah, I mean, why would you do that? I mean, and then apparently in this instance, her cat came back and didn't want to know her anymore because this cat had fallen in love with someone else. Oh, that's awful, isn't it? And that's no reflection on Sammy. It's just that some people are just hell bent on just winning over the people's cats and nicking them, aren't they? That's terrible. Now let's see, Northamptonshire Fire and Rescue. Here they are again. You see. Now this time, do you remember? Maybe not. I don't know. If this is your first time watching, fantastic. Thank you very much for joining. And if you are going to be watching after the live event, great. Thank you for watching. I mentioned yes, four police vans were driving in the outside lane with definitely a clear middle lane, and the traffic up ahead was miles way off in the distance on the inner lane. Meaning, every one of them should have been on the middle lane, or definitely, I think there was room for them all to have been on the inner lane, the one on the left, quite frankly. However, saying that, Northamptonshire's police's driver training unit, they exist. Northamptonshire Police's driver training unit. Maybe whether them police vans have been on their own course or not, I'm not sure. But they're all driving in the outside lane. I had a whinge about that, didn't I? If you remember, they're offering now. Some people are a bit nervous of going on motorways, and I understand that. I can understand why the idea of entering onto a motorway could be a bit scary. I can imagine that, definitely. However, there's no need, really, honestly. Once you've done it, you'll think, why? What was I afraid of? What was I afraid of? Well, if you need cajoling further, there are each session is about 2 hours, and it starts off in a classroom. And Northamptonshire Police's driver training unit will sit in the classroom, go through key things, key tips, key strategies, key things about motorway driving. And this is what I think is really cool, take you in a marked police vehicle and actually take you in small groups, and there'll be various sessions during the day. So, plenty of people. If you book up, I think you've got to book up. Yes, so you've got to book up. You must book, and there is the link too, which I'll describe to you. And it's held at the police HQ in Wootton Hall, NN4 0JQ. Turn up, and then you'll be in the police car, and they'll enter the motorway, and they'll talk about that, what they discuss in the class, and then of course they'll have to leave the motorway, and they'll talk you through that, and things like joining, leaving, changing lanes. They'll talk about that, and judging speed. Although I did wonder about judging speed, because every car I've ever driven has had a speedometer in it. And, well, I call it a speedometer. I don't think that's the correct word, but a speedo, a speedometer. Tachometer, I'm not sure what they're really called, but yeah. But a speedo, I thought you use a speedometer for judging speed. I wouldn't guesstimate my speed. If I wanted to know my speed, I'd look at the speedometer. But apparently there's tips for judging speed. I wonder if they're sort of talking about keeping the distance, and maybe so judging the speed by keeping the distance like 3 chevrons apart and things like that. But anyway, I don't think there's any need to be nervous of motorway driving, because if you are on a motorway and you're driving, it's the safest roads but they're the safest roads to be on. However, when things go wrong, they tend to be the worst motorway systems. Cuts a lot of time out your journeys by using motorway systems. And with the exception, I'd say, of these motorways that don't have hard shoulders, and I would program a sat nav to avoid them at all costs. Personally, I'd sooner spend an hour extra travelling anywhere than spend 1 minute on one of these motorways with no hard shoulders. That's me personally. But yeah, if you've got the heebie-jeebies like me about doing live broadcasts, if you've got the heebie-jeebies about driving on the motorway, book yourself in for one of these courses. Now, https:// yeah, as per, right? I don't want Orlo, ORLO.UK/F capital V, capital R, 6 lowercase v. Again, I'm not entirely convinced you need to use upper and lowercase when any of these links, really. But however, that's how it's written: lowercase f, capital V, capital R, 6 lowercase v. That's the address to visit, and book yourself on one of them courses and boost your confidence. And what better way to do that than having your confidence controlled by a police officer? I'll call it that. Now then, recycling appliances of Goldings. Oh yes, washing machines and tumble dryers. They'll be collected for free. For free. So there wouldn't be any need to pay anyone to go to the tip. No need to leave it outside the door and hope. No need to ring the council for their white goods collections and pay, because I think that they charge, don't they, for that? And you got to book it and then get it out. And how's about this? Washing machines and tumble dryers collected for free. Marvellous. So if you like the idea of that, if you have a washing machine that you want getting rid of, try contacting recycling appliances in Goldings. And it's just occurred to me, I think there's an initiative now that if you were to purchase one of these large white goods from, say, a massive high street chain, I think they are obliged now. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're obliged now, aren't they, to help you get rid of the old appliance? Not entirely sure, but if I'm wrong, then there's someone to contact. Alexandra Milas, perhaps, from Parklands, offers cleaning services at competitive prices. Yes, first time I've seen Alexandria Milas from Parklands. First time I've seen her services, and she offers. I've seen her list, and she offers competitive prices. She does, and I have my cleaners and anyone in that cleaning trade. The world, where would we be without cleaners? I've done it. Best job I've had, actually. One of the best jobs I've had was cleaning a school. Really enjoyed that. That was when I was managing a charity shop. I had a company car actually doing that. I'd drive the cleaners to the school, some of them, to the school. We'd clean the school and off we trot. Um, and by the time I finished that shift, not only was I ready for bed, tired, just get home, you think, I tell you what, I'm just going to eat and go to bed. I've done all my thinking about the managerial stuff in the morning. So I'll be thinking anything that he's thinking about in the shop the next day. I think, it's all figured out, ready. By the time I got home, ready for just eat, bed, work forgotten about. Wonderful that was. Love that. Sarah Shaw of Standon's Barn. Oh yeah, and what I wanted to mention about her is she'll use her own products or your own products as well. She'll offer you a wee discount if you allow her to use your products. You'll get a cheaper rate, which I think is pretty cool. It's a nice little unique selling point. Now I'm not sure how. I haven't seen that mentioned in other cleaning adverts thus far on Nextdoor.co.uk. I like that, Alexandra. So I wish you all the best. She's only just starting out, I believe, because she's moved over to the UK. I like that she's she's getting a business off the ground. Fantastic. We need that. Sarah Shaw of Standon's Barn remarked how the post about cats being covered in oil and plaster was a lie. Oh, do you remember me mentioning that? Because I've had that happen myself. Living in Semelong, we had two cats at the time, living back in Semelong, and one of them came home covered in oil, and it was awful. Because cats, they like to lick and they clean themselves, don't they? And Oh dear, for a cat to be covered in oil, it would just be compelled to lick itself and poisonous and Now it's been alleged that that was a lie, and people have been saying that the name Stephen Simmons is like another pseudonym. Is that the word? You know, when people use false names, and because I did a warning about that, people. Oh yes, that's right. That selling pets, claiming to be selling kosher pets, but they haven't. They're not kosher. They haven't been. They've been separated from their mothers and that too soon, and terrible things like that. And that compelled me to say, look, if you are going to buy a puppy or a kitten or any wee animal, see the kitten, see the puppy, see the animal with its mother. If you can see that everything's okay with that pet's mum and themselves, you'll know they're off for a good start. So yeah, it seems that there's some bandits out there. Basically, there's some bandits out there. If you're going to buy a pet, make sure you're not getting one from a bandit. So apparently, that post I was talking about with that person saying their cat came home covered in oil and plaster, that resonated with me. But apparently, that was a lie. What a political drama going on Nextdoor. Who would have thought it? There's always drama, isn't there? Any aspect of life, there's always some element of politics and drama, isn't there? Town centre parking. There's an app for that now. You can use an app if you wish. But now, apparently, you pay a bit more if you want to park in the town centre and use the app. It is a bit more costlier than using the old machines themselves. Um, Terrible. The fact that you have to pay parking in Northampton town centre, I think it's too much. I think it could be just made free because our town centre needs rejuvenating in terms of the businesses. Because you walk up and down, there's too many closed, shuttered shops. She entered her details incorrectly and therefore got a fine. And she approached a counsellor and says, "Look, I tried my best. First time using the app, I entered it wrong. I didn't mean to. I paid for my parking. I'm sorry, it's the wrong one, wrong details I put. That fine wasn't quashed. So if you do have to rely on using the parking app, try your very best to enter the correct details. I know how difficult it is that can be because I've got this thing. Well, I'm dyslexic, but the thing is, and with numbers too, I will 100% believe I'm writing down exactly the right thing, and then it's only if I look at it later and think, no, that's not right. So if someone's like me, they'll think they're perhaps entering exactly the right thing, 100%. No, put it in right, and then end up coming back finding a ticket because the digit was wrong or something like that. I've been encouraged to pay attention to what's going on live, and I've just noticed someone wave. Hello, Sam. Let me wave back. Thank you very much for waving. I'll do a wave back, shall I? I paid attention. Yay! Let's do a wave. Oh, there's the hands. There's a hand. Oh, I tell you what. Yeah, let's do a laughy face because I'm actually replying. Laughy face. Wait. Yeah. So, where was it? Parking in the town. Yes. Try your best to enter them details as correctly as you can. Double check because it seems the council are not very forgiving if you turn around and say, "I'm sorry, look, I entered the detail wrong." They're not very honestly. You think, wouldn't you, that they'd say, "Look, there's a character wrong. Clearly, they made the effort. We'll quash this." I mean, they went into town. They made the effort. They put in a digit wrong. You think, look, we know we can see from this it's one digit out. We're going to quash that, but no, they didn't on this occasion. So there we are. I'll implore you to enter your details correctly. So Ryan Cusian. Now, please forgive my pronunciations. Ryan Kuzian, I hope that Kuzian, yeah, from Kingsley. Grass hedges, weed removal or treatment, small tree works, and he offers free quotes. Now, I've not met many folk that offer that charge you for quotes, but everyone says free quotes, jolly good. Keep them free quotes flowing. And we got Benny. That's the first time I've mentioned Ryan Kuzian. I'm sure that is. Um, Other names crop up quite a lot, don't they, Adam? Adam Proud. I would like to mention, if I haven't already, he also does fence painting. So if I haven't mentioned that, he does that as well. Adam, I do mention you a lot because you post a lot, you see, and it clearly pays because you have been mentioned a lot on here, haven't you? So yeah, if you are a small business, Nextdoor.co.uk is a free platform, and there's nothing stopping you posting as many times as you like. And not everyone goes back. In fact, actually, not enough people read back through the past seeds because sometimes you think you'll have people and they say, I need this service, or I require this or that. And you think, well, that's cool. I've only just a second ago seen an advert of that. Oh dear, you're right, Crystal. Is you right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh yeah. Oh, Chris has got a week off going on there. You got juice?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, she's all right. um. Yeah, so some people do advertise more than others. Just so it's free, isn't it? So there's nothing stopping you just putting in a mention every day, is it? You don't want to spam everyone, do you? But why not put a mention in the morning, mention in the evening, every day? And I notice when people do things like that. So that's surely going to increase the eye footfall on your advert, surely. Now we got Benny Brew of West Abington mentioning the 1 and 16 buses. And I was quick to point out that whilst, yeah, you can pretty much go anywhere by bus in Northampton. And if you haven't got to be anywhere on time, great. But the minute you do wish to be anywhere on time is when things tend to go wrong. It occurred to me, school times. If you travel on bus during school times, it can get a bit chaotic. Well, I know the 16 does, definitely. The 16 bus, when the schools finish, ooh, yeah, they get chock a block. I mean, I doubt sometimes I try pushing a wheelchair on during a school when the bus is crowded with school children, and it takes forever. It's crowded. I mean, everyone was standing. Oh, it's mad, mental. So yeah, try if you avoid school times if you can help it, because things do get a little bit during those periods. We've mentioned Adam Proud, indeedy, fence painting, not face painting, which I just thought I'd write there. Hawley Shore Roofing for Shore. Ah, yeah, that's catchy, isn't it? Roofing for Shore. Hawley Shore of Hunsbury Hill. And Hawley Shore will come and inspect your roof. So if you need a roof inspection, another free quote available if needed. Quick repairs or even a new roof. There's a consideration for you. Keep the business local. Roofing for sure. I like that name. Roofing for sure. Very good. And finally, you see, I whizzed through this list, and it was about 40 minutes. Last time I went from a list like this, it took me about 40 minutes, I think, and it has today. Wesley Aston Walden of Blackthorn offers handyman services, free, no obligation quotes. So first time I think I've mentioned Wesley Aston of Walden. Oh, Wesley Aston Walden of Blackthorn Handyman Services. Wonderful. And then finally, dog poo. Yes. Now there are those in the world who don't pick up after their dogs. And That happened. It was happening for a bit outside the little jetty alley, if we like, that goes outside our front door. And there was a period where that happened. It's not happening quite now recently. But I tell you what, on the route to Aldi, when I go to Aldi, there's quite a long alley there that goes past the school, goes past a care home on your left, the garden of a care home on your left. You go down and you've got a school on your right, and you go down and you get to the Wellingborough Road. It is a Wellingborough Road. Yeah, get to the Wellingborough Road where the Aldi is. And I've been generally thinking, you don't see that much dog poo down there. It's pretty good. However, a pattern has emerged. And I noticed a pattern of the same dog feces. When you see a dog feces and you think, okay, naughty, and then you might see it again on another jaunt to the shop. You might think, that's the same dog, don't you? And so there are repeat offenders. And then I had a thought, you can here's something. You see, I'm pretty sure that some people think if I catch someone not picking up after their dog, or if you carry a bag, it's like if you hear noisy people listening to their music on buses too loudly. And I propose on this. Well, in fact, I did do it once. I had like these, like just knocking about in my bag, like these 99p headphones just to spare. I gave that person headphones. Seriously, and he did plug them in. But be proactive. If you want to catch someone out if you've seen someone dog fouling, then and you've got a wee bag in your pocket and you see them walking away from it, no need to turn all aggressive or funny with them. So say, oh no, I've got a bag here. Yeah, you can use that. Perhaps you've forgotten your bag here. Yeah, you can pick it up with this now, and they'll probably be like, oh yeah, thank you, and pick it up. I doubt they'll turn on you if you did that. So there are nice ways of doing it, but there are definitely repeat offenders out there, and those that are guilty, very, very naughty individuals. It's not very pleasant at all. And we don't live in France, do we, where there's dog poo on every blooming tree that you walk near. We don't want to live there, do we? Although I do like Paris. But no, as much as I like Paris, if you walk along Paris, you will probably find dog poo on every tree, on the bottom of every tree you encounter. Guess what? That's today's feed. Done. How about that? In 40 minutes. Maybe I shouldn't do a list. Maybe I should freestyle it. But then last time I did that, you see how long does it take? Over 2 hours. No, over an hour. It's something like an hour and a half, which is too long. So there we are. Now I do make these executive decisions in life at times. I've decided the next show will be something different. So please tune in because next time it's going to be something different. I haven't decided quite what I'm going to cover yet, but it might be. There's a lot of paranormal UFO type activity going on, so I'm keen to cover that sort of material. Perhaps I'll do that, viewers. We'll see. We'll see. But there's only one way to find that, and that's to tune in. So if you have tuned in for the first time today, thank you very much. If you've come back, thank you very much. Please consider subscribing, hitting the bell. I call it bish bash boshing, bish bash and bosh. And I had a graphic, but I spilt some coffee or something on it, so I'm gonna have to print out another graphic to show you. But yes, please consider bish bash and boshing. Thank you very much for washing. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again next time. Bye bye. Now it says here, your stream will stop immediately and you will no longer be live if I press end. So I'll do that. Bye bye.